They Will Kill You, new action slasher directed by Kirill Sokolov, starring Zazie Beetz, Patricia Arquette, Mihaela, Tom Felton, and Heather Graham. Zazie Beetz plays Asia Reeves, a woman who gets hired as a housekeeper at this old, fancy, exclusive building in New York. But as it turns out, when the lights go out in the evening, she's not really been hired, but rather lured to be a sacrificial offering for the rich, weird cultists that live there, leading to her having to fight her way out to survival. Essentially, Ready or Not meets Rosemary's Baby meets Kill Bill. And honestly, it is quite entertaining. Things I enjoyed about it include the action, which is really well choreographed and shot, especially the very first fight sequence, and a scene later on featuring a flaming axe in an otherwise dark room. Fantastic set piece right there. I liked how inventive it was with its twists and turns. I deliberately said very little about the plot, but for such a simple movie, I think it managed to do quite a lot of interesting stuff to keep the audience invested. It's also helpful that it's paced rather well, and at just 94 minutes moves along very nicely. Zazie Beetz is great in the lead role, charismatic, and also clearly puts in a lot of work physically speaking, which the director and her co-stars have praised her for. And finally, I enjoyed the offbeat humor, particularly things like the final boss fight, so to speak, and the eyeball sequence. It's not perfect. I think the villains are a bit one note and they could have been fleshed out so that each person was more distinct. I think it's a bit of a wasted opportunity to allude to the building being a metaphor for Dante's 9 circles of hell, with each floor a different circle, but then only really briefly showing us one of those floors. Also, the more you think about the details and mechanics of the plot, the less sense it makes. But crucially, I don't think you need to get hung up on that with a movie like this. It knows what it is, it doesn't take itself too seriously, and it provides a reasonable amount of entertainment. Decent stuff for a fun watch with some friends.